Hey, how's it going, everybody? I hope you all had a good holiday week, or holiday, whatever that was. Whether you were um, sacrificing a boar to Odin, as is the classic Yule tradition, or wearing funny hats and lighting candles for Saturnalia, um, whatever you were doing, I hope you had a good time. Seriously, though, whether you were celebrating Christmas or not, whether you were able to get together with family and do your normal Christmas traditions or not, I hope you at least had a day or two off work. I have a special kind of game for you tonight. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is going to be a little bit different than we normally do. If you are not joining us for the first time tonight, this will still be a little bit different than what we normally do. Tonight is going to be all common bonds all the time. So every round is going to have a common bond answer. At the end of the night, I'm going to ask you for a sort of meta common bond or a common bond. All the common bonds actually are going to have something in common as well. Hopefully that makes sense. We'll get into it here as we get going. I do need you, as usual, to go ahead and access those answer sheets for me. You can get to the answer sheet in one of two ways. If you're playing on a computer, just go ahead and click on that description, that link in the video description right below me. If you're sharing a screen, or if you're playing on, Apple TV or some other tablet, some other device, whatever, it might be easier for one person on your team to use your phone as an answer submission device. In that case, go ahead and get your phone camera out and scan that QR code you see next to my head. That'll take you to the same place. However you get there and however you have situated with your team, whether you're playing with a team in person or socially distanced team through the wonders of technology, or whatever, I just need one answer sheet per team. So one answer sheet per team, just one person needs to be in charge of submitting those answers. The only other caveat about the answer form is that I do want you to use the same team name every time and make sure you are selecting the correct round number. Both of those things are going to make my job a lot easier in terms of scoring your answers. So this is round one we're going to get started with. This is just a general knowledge round, but do try to keep in mind the common bond. Instead of what we normally do, where I ask you 6 questions and then ask for a common bond answer for the 7th question, I'm going to ask you 7 questions. 7 questions. We're still going to go over the answers at the end of every round like normal. I'm just not going to tell you what the common bond is. So that's actually going to be our round 8. Our final round tonight will be we'll be going over the answers and you telling me what the common bond is for each one of those. Hopefully that makes sense. I went back and forth a little bit on how I wanted to do this. Let's just jump right in. Go ahead and get your round 1 answers ready, or round 1 answer sheets ready. As usual, if you need me to repeat a question, if you have technical difficulties, let me know in the chat. I will do my best to try to monitor that. This is round 1, question number 1. According to tradition, whose last words were, quote, "All component things in the world are changeable. They are not lasting. Work hard to gain your own salvation." I put that in quotes, but that's one translation. Question number 1 again here. According to tradition, whose last words were, "All component things in the world are changeable. They are not lasting. Work hard to gain your own salvation." That's question number 1. Here's number 2. In the Dr. Seuss story, Horton Hears a Who, what kind of an animal is Horton? Question 2 again. In the Dr. Seuss story, Horton Hears a Who, what kind of animal is Horton? Question number 3. The Kinks' acclaimed 1969 concept album Arthur is subtitled "Or the Decline and Fall of the What?", on which the sun still technically hasn't set. Question 3 again. The Kinks' acclaimed 1969 concept album Arthur is subtitled "Or the Decline and Fall of the What?", on which the sun still technically hasn't set? Here's question number 4. 10 of the 14 highest peaks on Earth. Sorry, I'll start that again here. 10 of the 14 highest peaks on Earth can be found in what mountain range? Question number 4 again. 10 of the 14 highest peaks on Earth can be found in what mountain range? Question 5. Asana, or postures, are but a small part of what physical and spiritual practice whose name comes from the Sanskrit for joined? Question 5 again. Asana, or postures, are but a small part of what physical and spiritual practice whose name comes from the Sanskrit for joined? And question number 6. In 1950, who founded the Missionaries of Charity, a Catholic congregation focused on serving the poor, whose members include over 5,000 nuns in 139 countries? Number 6 again, who founded in 1950 the Missionaries of Charity, a Catholic congregation focused on serving the poor, whose members include over 5,000 nuns in 139 countries? And this is our final question for round 1. Question number 7. Cause Hunting and Rikki Tikki Tavi are chapter titles in a work by what author? Question number 7 again. Cause Hunting and Rikki Tikki Tavi are chapter titles in a work by what author? So it may serve you guys to grab a pen and paper, or maybe get a notepad app out on your computer or your phone. It shouldn't be required. I will go over all the answers, but if you're starting to think about what these common bonds may be, it might be worth having somebody on your team sort of jot some notes down. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock, though. You've got 2 minutes to get your round 1 answers turned into me. Let me know if there's any problems with the answer sheets or anything like that in the chat. By the way, tonight I am drinking our Pecan Holiday Ale, Parsons North Pecan Holiday Ale. I was glad to see that you kept everybody busy on the last couple of weeks that I took off from this place. And there's a little bit of holiday ale left for me to drink, so that's good. We did sell out of it in the 4-packs, but if anybody needs some for New Year's, we still have a couple of kegs left of it, so we can fill some crowlers of it if we need to do that. Just a heads up also, we're going to be open till 9 o'clock tomorrow, New Year's Eve, for the carry out and delivery, and then closed on Friday for New Year's Eve, or for New Year's Day, rather. Looks like we're starting to get some answers coming in. Got about 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left for those round 1 answers. For those of you who haven't played with us before, we don't do prizes. The simple reason for that is that I don't want to encourage anybody to cheat, to Google answers or anything like that. So no prizes other than pride, bragging rights. What we do instead is give out a 10% discount code. So everybody who's playing tonight will get 10% off their next online order, whether that's through pickup or delivery. You'll be able to use that. I'll give that code out at some point tonight, and you'll be able to use that anytime between now and our next trivia night. I'd like to welcome all the teams we have playing. So far, we've got the Brook Street Buffoons, Doolies, Tycho, Missed Connections, the team formerly Fourth Wheel. Lamb Sandwich, Crew Fans 5, and Is Georgia Ready for a Cat Senator? So it looks like 7 teams playing so far. If I didn't read your team name, that's because I didn't get an answer sheet from you for round 1. This is your last chance to get that round 1 answer sheet turned in. Oh, we also have Baby Yoda Fan Club. All right. Give me just a second to get these answers keyed in here. I'm back at the brewery today, hosting here. So if you do hear some background noise, don't worry about it. I don't know. It's just brewery noise. Hopefully, if you have any problems hearing, obviously let me know. All right, let's go over our answers for round 1. I think I don't see any more popping up, so we'll go over our answers here for round 1. Like I said, I am still going to go over our answers in between each round. I'm just not going to tell you what the common bond is. Some of these will be easy when you hear the answers, and some of them are hopefully still give you a challenge. That was sort of my compromise. So it still, lets people, if you work out the common bond, it maybe helps you out on a couple of answers that you wouldn't have gotten. But still doesn't penalize people going into the final round. Anyway, here's the answers for round 1. I asked you, according to tradition, whose last words were, all component things in the world are changeable. They are not lasting. Work hard to gain your own salvation. That is Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha. The Buddha is the answer to number 1. Number 2, in the Dr. Seuss story, Horton hears a who. What kind of animal is Horton? Everybody got this one. Horton is an elephant. Question 3, the Kinks' acclaimed 1969 concept album Arthur is subtitled, or the decline and fall of the what, on which the sun still technically has not set. That's the British Empire, which kind of sort of doesn't exist anymore, but British overseas territories actually do exist in enough time zones that the sun still hasn't set on what used to be the British Empire. Question number 4, 10 of the highest 14 peaks on Earth can be found in what mountain range? Those are all in the Himalayas, or 10 of the 14 are in the Himalayas. Number 5, asana, or postures, are but a small part of what physical and spiritual practice, whose name comes from the Sanskrit for joined? That is yoga. Yoga is the answer to number 5. Number 6, in 1950, who founded the Missionaries of Charity, a Catholic congregation focused on serving the poor, whose members include over 5,000 nuns in 139 countries? That was Mother Teresa. And number 7, Cause Hunting and Rikki Tikki Tavi are chapter titles in a work by what author? Those are both chapter titles in The Jungle Book, written by Rudyard Kipling. Rudyard Kipling is the answer to number 7. We did have a perfect score in our round 1. Missed Connections got 7 out of 7. So nice work. And like I said earlier, be thinking about what those common bonds are or might be, although we will go over the answers again for our final round here. Question 2 is going to be a geography round. The answers are all going to be place names, but they do have something else in common other than just being place names. Go ahead and get your answer sheets ready for round 2. The easiest way to get back to those, if you're new with us for the first time, is just to click on the link that says submit another response. That'll take you right back to the top of the screen. Otherwise, reload that QR code or click on the link again or do what you got to do. Round 2, geography. And I don't think I told you, as normal, part of our normal spiel, this is 8 rounds. So round 8 is going to be our final round, our common bond round. As usual, round 8 will be worth 2 points apiece. Everything else just worth 1 point. And our final answer, we're going to make that worth 4 points. You may have noticed on the answer sheet that there's a, on the round number selection, there's something that says bonus. That's where you're going to put that final answer. If I feel ambitious going forward, I might try to come up with some other uses for that bonus slot, maybe some homework or some social media stuff or whatever. But for now, that's what it's for. Okay, here we go with round 2, geography round. Question number 1. Only 60 of the original 214 colonists survived the first winter in what Virginia settlement, the first permanent English one in America? Question 1 again. Only 50 of the original 214 colonists survived the first winter in what Virginia settlement, the first permanent English one in America? Here's question number 2. Rodrigo Duterte, running for president of what country in 2016, said that his term would be a bloody one, but that he would pardon himself for mass murder at the end of it? True story. Number 2, Rodrigo Duterte, running for president of what country in 2016, said that his term would be a bloody one, but that he would pardon himself for mass murder at the end of it? Question number 3. What territory was sold in 1803 for a price of less than 3 cents per acre? Question 3 again. What territory was sold in 1803 for a price of less than 3 cents per acre? Here's number 4. Honiara on the island Guadalcanal is the capital and largest city of what Pacific nation? Question 4 again. Honiara on the island Guadalcanal is the capital and largest city of what Pacific nation? Question number 5. Emory University, Morehouse College, and Augusta University are all institutes of higher learning in what U.S. state? Question 5 again. Emory University, Morehouse College, and Augusta University are all institutes of higher learning in what U.S. state? Number 6. The Longfellow Bridge, the Harvard Bridge, and the Watertown Bridge are crossings over what American river? Question 6 again. The Longfellow Bridge, the Harvard Bridge, and the Watertown Bridge are crossings over what American river? And our final geography question. What world capital city is home to Emancipation Park and the Bob Marley Museum? Question 7 again. What world capital city is home to Emancipation Park and the Bob Marley Museum? That is it for round 2. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock again. You got 2 minutes to get your round 2 answers turned into me. The bitrate seems to be holding okay. We had a couple of issues right when we were getting started, it looked like, with the Wi-Fi signal, but I think it's okay right now. We've got quite a few seasonal offerings right now, too, if anybody is looking for something to pick up for the new year. A couple of coffee variants of our beers, the Espresso American Stout and the Coffee Kolsch, are both out right now. Those are both pretty good. $30 left for round 2. 30 seconds left to get those round 2 answers turned into me. All right, go ahead and get your round 2 answers turned in if you haven't done so already. Actually, might have them all here. I think we're just waiting on one. There it is. Okay. All right, we'll go over our answers here for our geography round. Question number 1, 60 of the original 214 colonists survived the first winter in what Virginia settlement? This was the first permanent English settlement in America. That would be Jamestown, Virginia. Jamestown is the answer for number 1. Number 2, Rodrigo Duterte, running for president of what country, said that his term would be a bloody one, but that he would pardon himself for mass murder at the end of it. Famous for his crackdown on drug offenders and the like. And by crackdown, I mean extrajudicial killings. That's the Philippines. Rodrigo Duterte, president of the Philippines. Question 3, what territory was sold in 1803 for a price of less than 3 cents per acre? That's a pretty good price, even with inflation. But that's the Louisiana territory. Louisiana is the answer. Number 4, Honiara on the island of Guadalcanal is the capital and largest city of what Pacific nation? This was a little bit of a tougher one, but I think a couple of teams got this right. That is the Solomon Islands. The Solomon Islands is where Guadalcanal is. Number 5, Emory University, Morehouse College, and Augusta University are all institutes of higher learning in what U.S. state? That is the state of Georgia. And number 6, the Longfellow Bridge, the Harvard Bridge, and the Watertown Bridge are crossings over what American river? Harvard and Watertown hopefully pointed you to the Boston area. The river that goes through Boston is the Charles River. The Charles River is the answer for number 6. Number 7, what world capital is home to Emancipation Park and the Bob Marley Museum? Lots of correct answers on this one. Of course, we're talking about Jamaica. The capital of Jamaica is Kingston. Kingston, Jamaica is the answer for number 7. We're going to move right along here to round 3. As usual, round 3 coming after round 2. Round 3, another just general knowledge round. I don't have a more specific category than this one, other than the, of course, secret common bond theme for round 3. So get your round 3 answer forms ready to go. And here we go with question number 1. All 3 species of what creature are classified in the subgenus Hippotigris? Question number 1 again. All 3 species of what creature are classified in the subgenus Hippotigris? Oh, by the way, we did have a couple of perfect scores in round 2. Crew Fans 5, I think, got 7 out of 7. And Misconnections also got all 7 of them, so they're having a perfect night so far. They were our returning champions last week, I think. Should probably start writing that down. Question number 2. What 1959 movie starring Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon topped the American Film Institute's list of best comedy films? Question 2 again. What 1959 movie starring Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon topped the list of the American Film Institute's best comedy films? Question number 3. The first one of what popular mental exercise, appeared in the December 21st, 1913 issue of the New York World? Question 3 again. The first one of what popular mental exercises appeared in the December 21st, 1913 issue of the New York World? That's question number 3. Question number 4. What was the name of the flag flown by pirate ships when they were about to attack? The most well-known design for which features a skull and crossbones. Question 4 again. What was the name of the flag flown by pirate ships when they were about to attack? The most well-known design for which features a skull and crossbones. Question number 5. What hip-hop group released the 1987 hit Push It? Question 5 again. What hip-hop group released the 1987 hit Push It? That was number 5, I believe. Number 6. Oswald Cobblepot is better known as what comic book supervillain? Number 6 again. Oswald Cobblepot is better known as what comic book supervillain? And here's our final question for round 3. Question number 7. What dog breed, known for its bravery and stamina, serves as a mascot for fire departments around the country? Question 7 again. What dog breed, known for its bravery and stamina, serves as a mascot for fire departments around the country? We'll put our 2 minutes on the clock again. 2 minutes for your round 3 answers. And then we will move on to our picture round. As usual, our round 4 is going to be our picture round, and then we'll take a quick break for halftime before we get back into things. So we'll have you out of here by 8:30 or so, maybe a little bit earlier. I felt like this was a little bit of an easier round, round 3, so I'm expecting lots of high scores on this one, but we'll see. I'm frequently wrong. You got 30 seconds or so left for round 3. 30 seconds left for to get your round 3 answers turned into me. All right, go and get those. Go and get those round 3 answers turned in if you haven't done so already. I think we actually had 4 or 5 perfect scores that time, so that was a pretty easy round. But we'll go over our answers anyway, because not everybody did perfectly on round 3. Question number 1. All 3 species of what creature are classified in the subgenus Hippotigris? Hippotigris basically means tiger horse in Latin, I guess. It's Latin, right? Not Greek that they use for those genus names. So tiger horse, that's a zebra. Zebra is number 1. Also, I don't know how much it helps that some people may have figured out the common bond and going back and filling in some of the answers. Number 2, what 1959 movie starring Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, and Jack Lemmon topped the American Film Institute's list of best comedy film? Some Like It Hot is the name of the movie. I have not seen it, although it's apparently the best comedy movie ever. Number 3, the first one of what popular mental exercises appeared in the December 21st, 1913 issue of the New York World? Everybody got this one. New York World is, of course, a newspaper. So if you're thinking of a mental exercise that appears in newspapers, the answer is crossword puzzles. Number 4, what was the name of the flag flown by pirate ships when they were about to attack? The most well-known design for which features a skull and crossbones. There were lots of different designs for this, depending on what time period we're talking about or which pirate we're talking about. But the Jolly Roger is the name of the flag. Question 5. What hip-hop group released the 1987 hit Push It? Push It is by Salt and Peppa. Number 6. Oswald Cobblepot is better known as what comic book supervillain? I don't know why I struggle with Oswald Cobblepot. Anyway, that is the Batman villain, the Penguin. The Penguin. Oswald Cobblepot is the Penguin's real name for a fictional character. Number 7. Everybody got this one also. The dog breed that is a mascot for fire departments around the country is the Dalmatian. Dalmatian is the answer for number 7. Round 4, as usual, will be our picture round. I'm going to go ahead and get these on the screen here. It's just famous people. Let's just name the person that you're looking at. Nothing too complicated. I just want their names. There are a couple there, number 5 and 6. Be careful. I put arrows pointing at the person I want you to name. They're centered in the picture, but they also have the arrow pointing at them just in case. So that's pretty straightforward. I'll give you about 4 minutes or so on this one. I'll wait a couple minutes before starting the timer, but all I want is the name of the person pictured on your screen. Oh, I got a penguin emoji on one of my answers for the last round. I didn't even know I could get emojis on this spreadsheet, but apparently they show up. Got about 30 seconds or so left. 30 seconds left for round 4. After 30 seconds, I'm going to take away the pictures. All right, the pictures are going away. Go ahead and get those answers turned in for round 4. This is probably a little bit of a tougher round, which is okay after that easy round 3, right? True Fans 5, it looks like I just got another copy of your round 3 answers instead of your round 4 answers. So I don't know if you want to go ahead and get those round 4 answers here turned in. Just wanted to give you a heads up in case you thought you were submitting them, but it looks like I just got a repeat of round 3. All right, last call for round 4 answers. Go ahead and get your round 4 answers turned in if you haven't done so. Just a couple of teams we're still waiting on here. I think that's all of them. Let's get our pictures back on the screen here and go over our answers for round 4. A little bit of a tougher round. Round 4, number 1 there, that's former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. Probably, maybe taken when she was Secretary of State. Number 2, her name is Petra Nemkova. Petra Nemkova is the answer for number 2. Number 3, I think most of you got number 3. That's Sigmund Freud. Number 4, a couple of teams got number 4. That's Franz Kafka, the author, Franz Kafka. Number 5, I think most of you got number 5. I normally am pretty generous with spelling, but this one you did have to get right just because there's another person's name who's so similar. This is Ivana Trump. Ivana Trump, Donald Trump's former wife. Number 6, that's taken on the set of Amadeus. That's the movie director of Amadeus. His name is Milos Forman. Milos Forman is the answer for number 6. And number 7, the tennis player, that's Martina Navratilova. Martina Navratilova is number 7. At this point, we will take a halftime break. But before we do that, let's check in with our leaderboard. See what our standings look like as we're going into halftime. To fix one thing real quick here. I think that should do it. So we've got 8 teams playing tonight. Right now, the Brook Street Buffoons have 11 points. Baby Yoda Fan Club with 13, followed by Lamb Sandwich, 15 points. Is Georgia ready for a Cat Senator? Currently has 18 points. Tycho following them with 22 points. And then our top 3 right now are Doolies in 3rd place with 23 points. Crew Fans 5 currently in 2nd place with 24 points. And Missed Connections, who haven't missed very many questions tonight, just a couple. They have 25 points. So that's what our standings look like as we go into halftime. We are going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to put 5 minutes on our timer here for our halftime break. 5 minutes, exactly enough time to watch around 2% of the new Wonder Woman movie if you haven't seen it yet. So you can watch 2.3% of Wonder Woman 1984 if you're looking for something to do in the next 5 minutes. Otherwise, we'll see you back here in 5 minutes. How'd we do? Did we make it back okay? Did you make it to the opening credits? I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know what 2.3% of it'll get you. Round 5 is going to be our next round. As we get into our second half here. Round 5, all about famous women, notable women. I gave you the category there, notable women, just so that you would not think that that was the common bond. They have something in common other than just the fact that they're notable women, but these are all questions about notable women. Let's see. Evil Red Bubble says in the chat, if that is even your real name, can you repeat correct answers for round 1 sometime? Yeah, we'll do that for our final round here. We'll go over all the answers previously. That's basically going to be what the final round is I'm just going to read you the answers instead of questions, and you're going to tell me what they have in common. So I think it'll work out okay. If you need to reload that answer sheet, go ahead and do that. If you need to scan the QR code again, do what you got to do. But here is round 5. All questions about famous women. Question number 1. Whose debut record, What's the 411, topped the Billboard R&B hip-hop albums chart when it was released in 1992? Question number 1 again. Whose debut record, titled What's the 411, topped the Billboard R&B hip-hop albums chart when it was released in 1992? That's question number 1. Question number 2. Who wrote and directed the most recent Charlie's Angels reboot and also played Bosley in the movie? Question number 2 again. Who wrote and directed the most recent Charlie's Angels reboot and also played Bosley in the movie? Question 3. What author and illustrator was responsible for The Tale of Peter Rabbit and 22 sequels? I say responsible for like Peter Rabbit is war crimes or something, but she authored and illustrated it. What author and illustrator was responsible for The Tale of Peter Rabbit and its 22 sequels? That's a lot of sequels. Number 4, who is the daughter of actress Ingrid Bergman, also an acclaimed actress, winning an Independent Spirit Award for her role in Blue Velvet? Question number 4 again. Who is the daughter of actress Ingrid Bergman, who is also an acclaimed actress, winning an Independent Spirit Award for her role in Blue Velvet? Question 5. What former Spice Girl has a fashion label that released a collection for Target stores in 2017? I couldn't find information about whether this is, I think maybe it was just for 1 or 2 years. So maybe you can't buy her clothes in Target anymore. But anyway, question 5 again. What former Spice Girl has a fashion label that released a collection for Target stores in 2017? That was question 5. Question 6. Who won an Oscar for her portrayal of Velma Kelly in the 2002 movie adaptation of Chicago? Question 6 again. Who won an Oscar for her portrayal of Velma Kelly in the 2002 movie adaptation of Chicago? This is our final question about notable women. Final question of round 5. What photographer has sold more than 18 million books and 13 million calendars, mainly featuring pictures of babies? Question 7 again. What photographer has sold more than 18 million books and 13 million calendars, mainly featuring pictures of babies? Once again, we're going to put 2 minutes on the clock. You got 2 minutes to get your round 5 answers turned into me. 2 minutes for round 5. And then round 6, as usual, will be our music round. Oh, yeah, you're fine. Yeah. The fellas were saying today they're gonna have to brew more of this pecan holiday ale than they did this year for next year. Probably won't have it back until hopefully a little earlier before Christmas, but we'll do more of it because you guys bought it all quickly. You got 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left for your round 5 answers. You gonna head out? Yeah, you're good. Yeah, we should be good. Okay. All right, go ahead and get those round 5 answers turned into me if you haven't done so already. What's that? All right, I think we've got all our answers in here for round 5. Oh, there actually might be one still outstanding. Well, I'm not sure if somebody's just slow or if we lost a team at halftime. Sometimes that happens. That's okay. We're going to move on anyway. We're going to go over our answers for round 5. Notable women was the category for round 5, although they do have something else in common. Number 1, whose debut record, What's the 411, topped the Billboard R&B hip-hop album charts when it was released in 1992. Her name is Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is the answer for number 1. Number 2, who wrote and directed the most recent Charlie's Angels reboot and also played Bosley in the movie? That would be Elizabeth Banks. Number 3, what author and illustrator was responsible for The Tale of Peter Rabbit and its 22 sequels? Her name is Beatrix Potter. Beatrix Potter is the answer for number 3. Number 4, who is the daughter of actress Ingrid Bergman? She's also an acclaimed actress, winning an Independent Spirit Award for her role in Blue Velvet. I think 3 or 4 teams got this one right. Her name is Isabella Rossellini. Isabella Rossellini is the answer for number 4. Number 5, what former Spice Girl has a fashion label that released a collection for Target stores in 2017? That would be Victoria Beckham, also known as Posh Spice, but Victoria Beckham is her name. Number 6, who won an Oscar for her portrayal of Velma Kelly in the 2002 movie adaptation of Chicago? Several of you guessed Renee Zellweger. Renee Zellweger was the other one, was Roxy. Velma was Catherine Zeta-Jones. So Catherine Zeta-Jones is the answer for number 6. And number 7, what photographer has sold more than 18 million books and 13 million calendars, mainly featuring pictures of babies? Her name is Ann Geddes. Ann Geddes is the name. Annie Leibovitz, also a photographer. Good guess. A couple of teams put Annie Leibovitz, but not this photographer. She photographed people who were, older than one. And get us the answer for number 7. Let's move on here to our audio round. The category for our audio round is Old White Men. That's not really a category. The category is Name the Singer. I just want you to name the singer, name the person who's singing the songs. As usual, you're going to hear a 15 to 20 second clip of a piece of popular music. The question is, who is singing the piece of popular music that you're about to hear? They all happen to be old white men. I just wanted to include that just so that nobody puts something like that for the common bond answer. It's something more specific than that. Here we go with number 1. I'm working without headphones tonight, so I'm going to try to watch the volume meter as it goes up and down, but hopefully we'll be able to pause it in between clips. Here's question number 1.
She sits alone, waiting for suggestions. He's so nervous, avoiding all the questions. His lips are dry, her heart's gently pounding. Don't you just know exactly what they're thinking?
That was number 1. As usual, let me know if there's any problems with the technical side of things. If you can hear, if you can't hear, whatever. Here's number 2. That was number 2. Here comes number 3. Again, the answer I'm looking for is just the artist or performer. Who's singing the song?
I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. And I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind.
One of the tough things about doing it with no audio on my end is keeping track of which one we're on. But I think this should be number 4, right? Number 4.
She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you. She's just a devil woman with evil on her mind. Beware the devil woman, she's gonna get you from behind.
Here's number 5. Number 6.
Well, she's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner. But she always knows her place. She's got style, she's got grace. She's a winner. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady.
And if I can count correctly, this would be number 7. It's sometimes a big if. I do struggle with counting, but here's number 7.
You wanna love to last forever, one that will never fade away. I wanna help you with your problems. If you're around, I say,
Okay, we're going to play through all of those one more time here, and you'll have about a minute or so after the music stops to get your answers turned in for round 6. So go ahead and get those answer sheets ready for round 6, and here they are all again. Again, I just want you to name the singer, name the performer. Here we go.
she sits alone, waiting for suggestions. He's so nervous, avoiding all the questions. His lips are dry, her heart's gently pounding. Don't you
Well, she's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner. But she always knows her place. She's got style, she's got grace. She's a winner. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady.
You want love to last forever, one that will never fade away. I wanna help you with your problems. If you're around, I say,
All right, you got about a minute. You got about a minute to get your answers in for our audio round. I just want to know who sang the clips that you heard. I think I must have my answers out of order on our answer sheet here, which is fine. So hopefully somebody got them all, so I can just read their slip as a as an answer key. The answers are all correct. They're just not in the same order they are in my answer sheet. This is what happens when I can't listen to what I'm playing. Go ahead and get your round 6 answers turned in if you haven't done so already. Thank you, Doolies, for getting them all right. I think we're I'm gonna be using you as an answer key here. And I think Lamb Sandwich also got a 7 out of 7. Let's go over our answers here for round 6. Just yell at me in the chat if I do get them wrong, because like I said, they're out of order on mine. But number 1, everybody got Rod Stewart for this one, so I think that must have been the Rod Stewart clip. Rod Stewart for number 1. Number 2, It Don't Come Easy. That's Ringo Starr. Ringo Starr is number 2. I don't know how I got these out of order. All right, number 3, I'm Still Standing. That's Elton John. Elton John is number 3. Number 4, that was the hard one for sure. A couple of teams got this one. But that must have been Devil Woman, which is by Cliff Richard. Cliff Richard, the singer of Devil Woman. Number 5 would be Van Morrison. I can't even remember what clip I played for Van Morrison, but number 5 is Van Morrison. Number 6, that's She's a Lady, right? Is that what I did for number 6? That's Tom Jones. Tom Jones sings She's a Lady. And number 7, this was from the album that came out after he left Wings. So he did a solo album called McCartney after the Beatles split up, and then another solo album called McCartney 2 after Wings split up, or he disbanded Wings, I guess. He was kind of in charge of that one. So Paul McCartney is the answer for question number 7. He's got a new album out, McCartney 3, that I guess he did during the COVID lockdown. I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't know if it's any good or not. So nice work to the Doolies and Lamb Sandwich for getting 7 out of 7 on round 6. We're going to move right along here to round 7. Round 7 is another general knowledge round. Round 7, just things that you'll have to figure out what they have in common. Here we go with question 1. Get your round 7 questions, round 7 answer sheets rather ready. Here's question number 1. Giles and Molly Ralston are the central characters in what play that was written by Agatha Christie and ran continuously from 1952 until 2020, when performances were canceled due to COVID? Question number 1 again. Giles and Molly Ralston are the central characters in what play written by Agatha Christie, which ran continuously from 1952 until 2020, when performances were canceled due to COVID? Question number 2. In what 1996 movie can you see a CGI cow fly through the Oklahoma sky? Question number 2 again. In what 1996 movie can you see a CGI cow fly through the Oklahoma sky? Question number 3. I Think I'm Gonna Be Sad begin the lyrics to what Beatles song, the first single released from the Help album? Question number 3, quote, I think I'm gonna be sad begin the lyrics to what Beatles song, the first single released from the Help album? Question number 4, Lawrence Fishburne, Orson Welles, and Laurence Olivier have all portrayed what Shakespeare character on film? Number 4 again, Lawrence Fishburne, Orson Welles, and Laurence Olivier have all portrayed what Shakespeare character on film? Question number 5. What word entered the English lexicon when James Cook wrote about the people of Tonga, considering certain things sacred and forbidden? Number 5 again. What word entered the English lexicon when James Cook wrote about the people of Tonga, considering certain things sacred and forbidden? Here's question number 6. Alexander Skarsgård and Rihanna starred in what 2012 big-budget sci-fi flop? Question 6 again. Alexander Skarsgård and Rihanna starred in what 2012 big-budget sci-fi flop? And this is our final question for round 7. What was the name Julie and Patricia Nixon gave the Cocker Spaniel their father was given by a campaign supporter in Texas? Question 7 again. What was the name Julie and Patricia Nixon gave the Cocker Spaniel their father was given by a campaign supporter in Texas? That's all I've got for round 7. You'll have to figure out what those answers have in common. If you can, hopefully it'll help you out. If you can't, we'll figure that out in our next round here. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock for round 7. You got 2 minutes to get your round 7 answers turned into me. And then round 8 is going to be our common bond round. So for round 8, what I'll do is just a quick review of the answers for all the previous rounds. And then it'll be your job to figure out what they have in common. I know a couple of them are going to be really easy when I read out all the answers. Hopefully a couple of them will give you a little bit more difficulty. And I think what we're going to do tonight, normally I make the round 8, question 1 answer our promo code for the week. I think instead of doing that, we're going to make our final answer the promo code for the week. So the sort of meta common bond or common bond at the end of the night, that's going to be our promo code for the week. So when we get there, write that down so you can use it to get 10% off your next online order. $30 seconds left for round 7. 30 seconds left to get your round 7 answers turned in. All right, if you haven't turned in your round 7 answers, go ahead and do that now. And there is about a 10-second delay or something between me saying something and you receiving it. So if you just did it, that's great. Looks like we had 3 perfect scores for round 7. Tycho, Dooley's, and is that right? Is Georgia Ready for a Cat Senator also got 7 out of 7. So yeah, 3 perfect scores for that time. And I think we may have one team that that maybe came back from halftime late, and their scores are their answers are showing up just a little bit after everybody else's, but that's all right. By the time I get halfway through reading the answers, we'll have their answers. Question number 1 was Giles and Molly Ralston are the central characters in what play written by Agatha Christie, which ran continuously from 1952 until 2020, when performances were canceled due to COVID. That's called The Mousetrap. I think that was actually a record until they had to cancel performances when London was hit really hard with COVID-19. But The Mousetrap is the answer for question number 1. Question number 2, in what 1996 movie can you see a CGI cow fly through the Oklahoma sky? I'm pretty sure everybody got this one right. That's Twister. Twister is the answer. That famous computer-generated cow. Question 3, I Think I'm Gonna Be Sad begins the lyrics to what Beatles song, the first single released from the Help album? It's not Help. That would have been too easy. I'm kind of surprised that wasn't the lead single from the Help album, but the answer is Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is the answer for number 3. Question 4, Lawrence Fishburne, Orson Welles, and Laurence Olivier all portrayed what Shakespeare character on film? They all played Othello. Othello is the answer for number 4, I'm sorry. Number 5, what word entered the English lexicon when James Cook wrote about the people of Tonga who considered certain things sacred and forbidden? That's taboo. Taboo is the answer. Number 6, Alexander Skarsgård and Rihanna starred in what 2012 big budget sci-fi flop? The name of that movie was Battleship. And our final question for round 7, what was the name Julie and Patricia Nixon gave the Cocker Spaniel their father was given by a campaign supporter in Texas? This was big news at the time because it may have constituted some kind of weird campaign finance something. Anyway, Nixon gave a speech about it. The dog's name is Checkers. Checkers is the name of the dog. Round 8 is going to be our common bond round. Before we get into that, let's check in with our standings here, see what everything looks like. I don't think I need to make any adjustments, which is great. So we've got 8 teams playing tonight. That is the wrong screen. Let's see if that shows up any better. That looks better. 8 teams playing tonight. Currently, we have a tie in 3rd place, but our top 3 looks like this. So Tycho and Crew Fans 5 each have 38 points. Missed Connections, also known as Fourth Wheel, 43 points for them. So, but it's a tight one between our top 1 and 2. The Doolies currently have 44 points, so winning by 1 point going to our final round. Our final round is worth 2 points apiece, so if you figured out these common bonds, you get 2 points apiece just for figuring them out. I am going to read the answers real quick for our round 8. So I'll read you the previous round answers, and then you just tell me what the common bond is. Hopefully that makes sense. To get them in order here. So get your round 8 answers in here, or answer sheets ready. Round number 1 was, let's see, round number 1 we had the answers of the Buddha, elephant, the British Empire, the Himalayas, yoga, Mother Teresa, and Rudyard Kipling. So we had the Buddha, elephant, British Empire, the Himalayas, yoga, Mother Teresa, and Rudyard Kipling. I want you to tell me the link between all of those responses. That's question number 1. Question number 2 for round 8. Our answers for round 2, that was our geography round, were Jamestown, Virginia, the Philippines, the Louisiana Territory, the Solomon Islands, the United States, the U.S. state of Georgia, the Charles River, and Kingston, Jamaica. So number 2 again, I want you to tell me the link between Jamestown, Virginia, the Philippines, the Louisiana Territory, the Solomon Islands, the state of Georgia, the Charles River, and Kingston, Jamaica. That was number 2. Number 3, we had answers that were... Yeah, okay, just making sure I had the right one up here. Number 3, the zebra, Some Like It Hot, crossword puzzles, the Jolly Roger, Salt and Pepper, the Penguin, and Dalmatians. So number 3 again, zebras, Some Like It Hot, crossword puzzles, the Jolly Roger, Salt and Pepper, the Penguin, and Dalmatians. Question 4 was our picture round. The people pictured were Madeleine Albright, Petra Nemkova, Sigmund Freud, Franz Kafka, Ivana Trump, Milos Forman, and Martina Navratilova. Question 4 again. I want you to know the link between all of these people: Madeleine Albright, Petra Nemkova, Sigmund Freud, Franz Kafka, Ivana Trump, Milos Forman, and Martina Navratilova. Number 5 was our notable women category. Number 5, the answers were Mary J. Blige, Elizabeth Banks, Beatrix Potter, Isabella Rossellini, Victoria Beckham, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Anne Geddes. Number 5 again, Mary J. Blige, Elizabeth Banks, Beatrix Potter, Isabella Rossellini, Victoria Beckham, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Ann Geddes. I know this is kind of a weird final round, but don't worry, we'll be back to normal next week with some, hopefully some questions about sort of the year in review and maybe some questions about the future. I don't know. I haven't written anything for next week yet. Number 6. Number 6 was our music round. And number 6, the answers were Cliff Richard, Tom Jones, Rod Stewart, Elton John, Paul McCartney, Van Morrison, and Ringo Starr. And I think I have those in a different order than you guys put them all in. But the answers again were Cliff Richard, Tom Jones, Rod Stewart, Elton John, Paul McCartney, Van Morrison, and Ringo Starr. And then question 7. Our round 7 answers were The Mousetrap, Twister, Ticket to Ride, Othello, Taboo, Battleship, and Checkers. Number 7 again, The Mousetrap, Twister, Ticket to Ride, Othello, Taboo, Battleship, and Checkers. I know some of those, when I read them all in a row really quick, are super easy to figure out the theme. I hope a couple of them at least give you a little challenge. So go ahead and take 2 minutes to get your round 8 answers. And then also sometime in the next 2 minutes, after you get your round 8 answers, go ahead and use that bonus round. Just submit another response and use the bonus round to put in any of the numbered answers. I don't care where you put it. I'll see it anywhere. Go ahead and put what you think the common bond is between our round 8 answers. So there is sort of a meta common bond here tonight, and that is going to be our final bonus answer. I want you to tell me what all of the round 8 common bond answers have in common. I hope that makes sense. This was a little bit of an experiment. If you had fun, let me know. If you didn't have fun, let me know. We'll be back to normal next week. And even if you all figure it out, hopefully you had fun doing it, right? It's okay if it's easy as long as it's fun. That's my my philosophy. And just as a reminder, I'm giving you 2 points for each common bond response that you come up with, and 4 points for the final common bond. Go ahead and get your round 8 responses turned into me here, if you haven't done so already. And then sometime in the near future, go ahead and get that bonus round response turned in. Like I said, I'll try to think of ways to put that bonus answer line to good use in the future. Maybe if you're not following our social media, sometime this week might be a good time to start following that. I'll have Nate or somebody who actually does something with the social media write a hint or something in there. And you can use that for the bonus answer next week. In the future, I might try to come up with some homework or something. some puzzles to solve during the time in between the week. All right, do we have all our answers? I think we've got them all here. All right, let's go over our answers for round 8, and then go over our final standings, our final answer. Round 8, the Buddha, elephant, British Empire, Himalayas, yoga, Mother Teresa, Rudyard Kipling. What do they all have in common? India. India is the answer. Rudyard Kipling was born in India. Mother Teresa did her work in India. The Himalayas are partly in India. The British Empire, obviously, super involved there in India. Buddha, elephant, yoga, all from India as well. Number 3, we had zebras, Some Like It Hot, crossword puzzles, Jolly Roger, Salt and Pepper, the Penguin, and Dalmatians. Most of you got this one. Maybe everybody got this one, right? Black and white. Black and white is the common bond. Those are all things that are black and white. Number 3, oh, that was number 3. I just read them out of order, didn't I? Number 3 was black and white. Number 2, we had Jamestown, the Philippines, Louisiana Territory, the Solomon Islands, Georgia, the Charles River, and Kingston, Jamaica. They're all named after kings. A few of you got this. A couple of it. Well, I think 3 teams got that they were all named after kings. So either James or King Philip or King Louis, King Solomon from the Bible, George, King Charles, and Kingston, Jamaica, just generically named after kings. So kings was the answer, was the common bond. They're all named after kings. Number 4, Madeleine Albright, Petra Nemkova, Sigmund Freud, Franz Kafka, Ivana Trump, Milos Forman, and Martina Navratilova. We had 3 teams get this one right. The common bond there is Czech. They are all Czech people. They're all from what is now the Czech Republic. Not all of them were ethnically Czech, but all of them were born in what is now the Czech Republic. So Czech is the answer. Even Sigmund Freud, who was ethnically Austrian, he was born in part of what is now the Czech Republic when it was part of the Austrian Empire at the time. I think most of the other people actually are true Czechs, though, ethnic Czechs. Question 5, Mary J. Blige, Elizabeth Banks, Beatrix Potter, Isabella Rossellini, Victoria Beckham, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Anne Geddes. The answer I was looking for there, this time the common bond had to do with the first name. The first name, they were all queens. All famous queens. Mary, Elizabeth, Beatrix, Isabella, Victoria, Catherine, and Anne. All European queens. Number 6, Cliff Richard, Tom Jones, Rod Stewart, Elton John, Paul McCartney, Van Morrison, Ringo Starr. I think just 2 teams got this one right. This was definitely a tough one. They've all been knighted in the United Kingdom, which is why they're all old British men. Although Van Morrison, I think, is actually Irish, but he was knighted also. And Tom Jones is Welsh. That's still British, right? Just not English. But anyway, they're all knights. Knights is the answer for number 6. Number 7, Mousetrap, Twister, Ticket to Ride, Othello, Taboo, Battleship, and Checkers. I think everybody got this one. They're all games. They're all board games. And that makes our final answer. What we were looking for is something that India, Kings, Black and White, Czech, Queens, Knights, and Games all had in common. Our final answer, about half of our teams got this one right. I think The answer is chess. Chess comes from India. Chess has kings and queens and knights. It is, of course, a game. It has black and white pieces. And check is something you say or something, a position in chess. I hope you had fun. Oh, no, we need to know who won. So chess, by the way, is what I'm going to make the category. The promo code. 10% off your next order by using chess as a promo code. That's CHESS. But before we let you go, let's see who won. This is the time of the night when I build suspense by having technical difficulties. 8. I just need to make a couple of adjustments here. All right, let's get our leaderboard up here. We actually have a tie for first place between Tycho and the Doolies, 56 points. If we were playing live for prizes, I would bust out a tiebreaker question right now, but I don't have one. So you'll have to share the pride. Doolies and Tycho each with 56 points, followed by Misconnections with 53 and Crewfans 5 with 52. Our top 5 actually all did really well. Is George Ready for a Cat Senator with 50 points also. So congratulations to our winners, Doolies and Tycho. We do this every week. If you haven't played with us before, I hope to see you again next week at 7 o'clock. Until then, have a happy new year and go Buckeyes. Thanks, guys. See ya.